Good morning. We are playing Drive Time Football. This is the NFC 2025 playoffs. So I'm going to play all three of the first round of the NFC 2025 season playoffs. These are the brand new season cards directly from John. He emailed these to me. I had them printed and cut. And this morning I will knock out the NFC first round. And I might even get the AFC first round done. So we're going to do 3 games in this video. So I'll put a timestamp where all 3 games start. First game on the docket is the Rams at 12-5, traveling to face the 8-9 division winners of the NFC South. This team basically was a 3-team tie, and thanks to Atlanta defeating the Saints in the final week of the season, gave Carolina the NFC South, and they find themselves hosting a team that I think many people believe is the Super Bowl favorites, the Stafford-led Rams. The Rams scored 518 points. Enough said. The Carolina Panthers scored 311, gave up 380. If any team has reversed their fortune from the last few years and has been a competitive team that should be proud of this situation, it is Carolina, but I don't believe Carolina will advance much further than this, but we're going to find out right now. There are no kick or punt returns for either team, so we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing ball. Here we go. Rams get the ball first, and we're going to be looking at the offense. It's a red zone trip for the Rams. Rams on a red zone trip. What do they do? Right down the field go the Rams. It's going to be 12. It's going to be a field goal for the Rams. Starting for both teams are the starting quarterbacks. So I won't be rolling for quarterbacks, guys. So anyway, Mevis, I don't know how that's pronounced, believe it or not. Field goals. There we go. I have not seen but one Rams game this year on television, so they've been kind of I've watched highlights and etc., but I've not had the luxury of watching more than one full game with the Rams. All right, Carolina goes to work. Can they repeat? It's going to be the defense of the Rams, and the Rams are going to give up a red zone trip. This is a big deal. Rams defense. Their defense gave up 346. It's going to be 10. It's going to be a field goal of their own, and the Panthers will match with a Fitzgerald field goal. Oh, that was what I was going to do. I was going to use a D20 for ranges, but oh well. Matter of fact, hold on one sec. Hold on. I don't want this to be a 2-hour video. It's only 3 games. Should be done in 30 minutes. Easy, but I do want the details. So the kickoff, or the field goal, was 520, 22-yard field goal for Mevis, and 23-yard field goal for the Panthers. So both teams drive down close where you think they might go for it. They settle for field goals here in the playoffs. Maybe the weather's a little dicey here, and both teams are a little uptight. Just want to not squander their opening drives. All right, the Rams go to work. Offense, double digits, intercepted. Stafford is picked off. Stafford intercepted. Let's see if they take it back to the house on a 6, folks. No touchdown, but holy cow, that's a big deal for the Panthers. The Panthers go to work now on a short field. It's going to be the defense 6. Another red zone trip against this Rams defense. Panthers are probably going to take the lead here. It's going to be 10 again. Another field goal. So they don't give up much, but they give up another field goal. This one, 27 yards. So Fitz, field goal, 27. That is points off turnovers, off the interceptions. Folks, Rams 3. Panthers 6. This is playing into the Panthers' hand with Rico Dowdle, right? Rico Dowdle is one of my, I believe he was an underrated back. Dallas probably didn't quite have, wasn't going to feature a power back, but Carolina definitely wanted that big, strong back in Rico Dowdle. I like Rico Dowdle a lot. Not a huge fan of Bryce Young. Wasn't coming out of college. And, hey, we'll see if the Carolina Panthers take his 5th-year option up in June. I think June they have to decide if they're going to keep his 5th-year option. All right, second quarter underway. The Rams go to work. They are now chasing the Panthers, only down by 3 here. The Rams, offense 6. Beautiful. That's what the Rams were looking for. A chance to score. Red zone trip as he drives them down the field. It is a touchdown pass to Puka Nacua from the 1-yard line. Holy cow. So it's going to be Nacua. Nacua with a 1-yard TD reception. The extra point here can be missed. And it is close, but they make it. And the Rams take the lead on the road. Carolina goes to work. Offense 6. They're going to get a red zone trip of their own. Holy cow. And right down the field go Rico Dowdle and company. It is going to be 7. It's a touchdown pass by Bryce Young to 98 for crying out loud. Sanders, 5 yards. So Sanders, 5-yard TD reception. And they can miss it as well. Ooh, they do not. Folks, we have got a ball game as Puka Nacua gives the Rams the lead, but only for a short time. As Carolina matches the hometown team on their feet, hometown fans on their feet. Defense 11, it's going to be a turnover on down. So the Rams drive down after kicking a short field goal and throwing a touchdown from the 1. They decide here to go for it as they feel like maybe they don't have their best defensive game going and they're going to fail to get it. The crowd here in Carolina now can see light at the end of the tunnel. Offense 6. It's another red zone trip for Bryce Young and the Panthers. The crowd here in touchdown run for Rico Dowdle of 18 yards. So Dowdle, 18-yard TD run. And the extra point is crucial, and they will get it. And the fans here roar as we continue into the final possession of the first half. The Rams now on the ropes in the first half. It's going to be defense 7. Red zone trip against this defense. And it's going to be 3. It's going to be a field goal of 18, 37-yard field, a 35-yard field goal from Nevis, 30 field goal, 35, and that's going to end the first half as there's 10 points scored by the Rams and 14 scored by the Panthers. Folks, it is 20-13 at halftime. Both defenses, we've had an interception, we've had a turnover on downs, but right now the Panthers have scored on every possession, and that has got to be worrying Sean McVay of the Rams. He's at halftime talking to his defensive coordinator, telling him, you've got to tighten the reins here or we're going to be in deep trouble in the second half. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and start with the Panthers. Second half underway. Panthers going to be looking at 5. 5 is a punt. Uh-oh. The Rams may have made the adjustments required to come back. They've got such a dangerous offense. However, defense is dictating the results here. Red zone, punt. Excuse me, I read the wrong one. Punt. Rams are now in trouble. Must be weather. I'm expecting it's like rain maybe. All right, Panthers looking at offense. Turnover on downs. They drive down in the rain and the wind, and they decide not to try the field goal. The Rams, they have to punt, turnover on downs. The Rams go to work and get in the red zone. Oh no, wrong team. Fumble. Rams fumble. Who coughs this up? It's going to be the man, Kyron Williams, is going to fumble the ball away. Fumble lost. The problem is there is a fumble return. No, there is not. All right, last possession of the third. Can Carolina add to their lead? 10 is a punt. No, we're going into the fourth quarter, and the Rams failed to score thanks to a fumble and a turnover on downs and 2 punts as both defenses make brilliant adjustments. It's 20-13. The Rams are in striking distance. And here we go. Rams go to work in the fourth. They're going to look at that defense. 5. Picked off. That's the second interception of Stafford, who's not having a great day here in the poor weather. It's picked off. They can return it for a touchdown on 6. Touchdown. Holy cow. Carolina CP. Pick 6, and the extra point for the Panthers is good. Holy cow, the crowd roars as the Panthers get their first drive. After that, 10 for them is a punt. The Rams, final drive, unless they get their extra drive. Rams are looking at a red zone trip against this defense. Here we go. Red zone against this defense is going to be 6. 6 is a field goal. No, say it ain't so. Rams, they're trying desperately to position themselves for a dramatic comeback. This one of 29 yards. And the Rams, maybe final possession. I mean, not the Rams, the Panthers. Looking at the defense, 3, punt. All right, here we go. Will the Rams get their extra drive? They will not. That's it, folks. Game's over. Carolina didn't even have to check. Stafford picked off. They kicked a field goal thinking they would find a way to position themselves, and they do a brilliant job in the second half. Can you believe it? They shut out the Panthers after halftime. I can imagine the Panthers got real conservative, started running the ball with Dowdle and Hubbard, and gave Bryce Young very simple, quick passes into the flat. The Rams muster. Oh, we got a pick 6. Whoops, I take that back. We did score. Carolina did score on a pick 6, which did not count against their possessions. And I'm not going to roll their extra possession. They've won the game, so I'm not going to. It'd be academic. 16 points for the Rams. They get 3 in the fourth thanks to a Stafford pick. And it wasn't just an interception. It was a devastating shot by the Panthers as they take it back to the house. They're going to win this 27-16. The Rams will go home in a down arrow. The Panthers will move on in a... And there it is, folks. That is game 1 of the NFC 2025 playoffs. The Panthers somehow, some way at home, find a way, picking off Stafford twice, getting a Williams fumble, and they turn it on. And there it is, folks. That's how the Panthers could win in real life. They're going to have to hold the Rams down. 16-27. Panthers will advance. Hallelujah. All right, we're looking at the 49ers and Eagles next. That was a great game. For those who don't know, Drive Time Football is my go-to game for all real historical action. It's a game I absolutely love. It allows me to get my history. It allows me to get my replays. And Carolina moves on. Rams go home. But I just don't play it every day on... I've got other stuff I've been playing. But for fictional games, there's lots of games I like. My own game, Play Action Football Express, Football Time, AFG. There's all kinds of games for fictional stuff. But when it comes to history, this is my... I play this 99% of the time when I'm playing history because it's fast, because it's accurate. And then, of course, I've been playing Glory Days football a lot. I've played, I think, 9, 7, 8 games of Glory Days since I got it after Christmas. That is a masterpiece of engineering, of game design engineering. It is brilliant. All right, here we go. The 49ers coming here, folks. A wild card. They went 12-5, scored 437 points. They have a problem on defense. But this offense, led by Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, are amazing. George Kittle, Tonjes, this is just a fantastic scoring machine. Kyle Shanahan in danger of winning Coach of the Year, depending on how far they go in the playoffs. With a team that has suffered losses in the offseason, not to mention a ton of injuries, 49ers are dangerous. This team could put up 40 points. Philadelphia, what can I say? They're world champs. The defending champs. They have one of my favorite players of all time in Jalen Hurts. He is a cold stone warrior. He doesn't seem to give a shit how he wins. He just wins, baby. And that, to me, is the Raider way. I would trade a first-round pick and Max Crosby to get Jalen Hurts to lock down my Raiders for the foreseeable future. But, there's no way they're going to trade away Jalen, are they? No. However, with that said, Jalen Hurts has been really, really pedestrian this year. There have been games where he has vanished, either in the first half or the second half. Something is wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles offense, and it's not due to lack of talent. This team dominated the Super Bowl with a 44 points, but with Jalen Hurts with 25 touchdowns. He got another 8 rushing. Jalen Hurts with 33 touchdowns. They have the former league's leading rusher in Saquon Barkley, Goddard, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. I personally believe the Eagles are going to get back to the Super Bowl. And they're going to do it with a brilliantly coached defense, solid talent on both sides of the ball. They're going to find a way to put it all together in the playoffs. That's my personal prediction, but we're going to find out. Let's find out right here. San Francisco gets the ball first. San Fran does not have a kick return. They go to work. They're going to be facing that Eagles defense, which has been formidable in the last 8 weeks. And they're going to be looking at an 8, which is a punt. 49ers handled and forced to punt. No punt or kick returns for the Eagles. They go to work. They're going to be facing a porous defense that gives up a red zone trip. There it is, folks. San Francisco's defense leaves a hole for Jalen Hurts and company. And it's going to be 7. It's going to be a touchdown pass by the man I said before I would trade our number 1 and Max Crosby to get Jalen. And I am not lying about that. And guess what, folks? It's a touchdown pass to all people. Cal Katera. Holy cow, Cal Katera is going to be the first man to score this year on a 16-yard pass. TD reception, extra point is good. And folks, we got a ball game. Holy cow. Now they got to overcome this defense, do the 49ers. 49ers facing that defense, 5. It's a red zone trip, though. The defense lets them in as Christian McCaffrey and company are getting them down the field. It is going to be 5. 5 is a field goal. So the Pinheiro with a 13 and 17, a 30-yard field goal. They settle for a field goal. And wow, this is going to be amazing. Here we go. Eagles go to work. They're up 7-3. Eagles on offense, 10. It's going to be a turnover on downs. They drive down, and they break out the tush push to get a first down. And the 49ers say, the one thing you won't do is get your tush push against us in the biggest game of the year. And they shut it down. San Fran on the final drive of the first quarter goes to work. They're going to drive down 6. They're picked off Brock Purdy. I'm writing down Brock. I want to write down Purdy. That's a pretty bad pass. Brock Purdy intercepted. Holy cow. This defense can score on a 4, and they will not. But holy cow, first quarter comes to an end. Pinheiro for the 49ers scores 3. And the Eagles, Jalen Hurts finds Calcaterra on a touchdown of 16 yards. And there it is, folks. Going into the second quarter, the Eagles win the ball on a short field after Brock Purdy interception. 9. They're going to have to punt. This is where the Eagles have trouble this year, is their offense was a bit sporadic. Not even a bit. It was pretty pedestrian. Defense, though, 9. They're going to force a punt of their own. But there's where the Eagles are going to match most every team in the league in this playoff. 5. It's going to be 49ers on defense. 5 is red zone. There it is. That's what they wanted. They wanted a red zone trip chance for the 49ers to take the lead. And 9 on red zone is field goal. Son of a gun. They hold again. And they force a 29-yard field goal. And that's going to be it for them this half. Let's see what the Eagles do in their final possession of the first half. Offense 6 is a red zone trip for Jalen Hurts, my man. Holy cow. Jalen Hurts. Come on, Jalen. Punch it in. It's going to be 5. Field goal. No, they're going to settle for a field goal from Elliott. And that field goal, folks, is 8 and 17, a 25-yarder, a chip shot. But, folks, 49ers at halftime, 6. Eagles, 10. What a ball game. The sad thing about this is the 49ers are in striking distance. This Eagles fans on their feet grumbling about the offense's production. However, they can't be unhappy with what their defense has achieved in the first half against a very talented 49ers offense. All right, here we go. Starting the half. Philly gets the ball first. Philly's going to be looking at their offense, and they're going to throw a pick. No, Hurts is intercepted. This team can take it back to the house on a 7. No, thank God. Woo! Hurts gives them a short field. They go to work. Offense 4 for them is a red zone trip for Christian McCaffrey. And it's going to be 9. 9 is a touchdown run for guess who? 81. Brock Purdy. So Purdy holds onto the ball, scrambles around the end on a 9-yard run, TD. The extra point for these guys is good. And uh-oh, folks, San Fran on their first drive of the third quarter take the lead after an interception. That is points off turnover. Philadelphia goes to work. It's going to be defense 9. That's going to be a punt, and Philly's in trouble now, folks. Unless Brock Purdy throws another pick. 4. It is a red zone trip for Brock Purdy looking at that San Fran offense. It's going to be 7. Touchdown pass. So Purdy is going to throw a TD pass to Kittle. Kittle with a 5-yard TD reception. The extra point. Uh-oh, San Fran has done what I feared they would. They're going to turn that offense on. And the Eagles are not a comeback team, folks. They're just not. And we're going to get a shutout. Eagles after halftime shutout. 14 for the 49ers. Holy shite. 20-10. The Eagles now are in trouble. They have to make the fourth quarter theirs. And the Eagles start out in the fourth. They got to score on this drive. It's going to be defense 6. It's a red zone trip. Fortunately, San Fran gives up the red zone trip. And it's going to be a trip of 7. It's going to be a touchdown pass, baby. Hurts is going to manage 70. Guess who this is to? It's going to be to Devonta Smith. Smith with an 8-yard TD reception. So Hurts throws his second. Extra point is good. And we got us a ball game, 17-20. They have got to find a way to stop San Fran in the fourth. They're on their own defense. It's going to be a punt. Beautiful as they get the job done. Come on, Philly. Philly fans on their feet, begging for Jalen Hurts to get the job done. Uh-oh, 3. Fumble. Ball's loose. Who coughs it up? 80. That's going to be Saquon Barkley. So Barkley fumbles with a fumble loss. That is heartbreaking. Meanwhile, we're going to go back over here and see if there's a fumble return. There is not, thank God. San Fran's last drive before we check extra drives. San Fran is winning. It's going to be defense 4. Picked off! Purdy picked for the second time today. Yep, intercepted, and this could be huge. A 4 is a pick 6. Oh, touchdown! Eagles are going to win it on defense. Are you kidding me? PE. Pick 6. Extra point. The Eagle fans on their feet as their defense, led by one of the greatest defensive coordinators in this era, getting the job done. Holy cow, folks, that gives the Eagles the lead. They're going to have to do this couple of drives, though. Game's not over. Eagles go to work on offense, 10. They're going to go to the red zone. Hot damn, Eagles may score again. It's going to be 10. Sorry, I'm an Eagles fan. Field goal, I'm a Hurts fan for sure. Field goal for Elliott. That's one way to almost finish this game. It's not over yet, folks. The field goal is 21 yards. Beautiful. And let's see, does San Fran, this could be the end of the game right here. Does San Fran get their extra drive? They do not. Game is over. Holy cow, we're going to score 17 points for the Eagles in the fourth. Brock Purdy picked, and it was returned back to the house, and they punt. They're shut out in the fourth. 20, let's see here, 20. And the Eagles get 24-27. Unbelievable. The 49ers down arrow, baby. They're going to be at home watching the remainder of this on TV. I would be shocked if this, again, is not the reality of it. Like I said, the Eagles are one of those teams. They are well coached, they are disciplined, and they are battle tested. Again, I think the Eagles will be back in the Super Bowl, but we're going to find out. 27-20. in an amazing game as they went into this quarter hurting. They needed points, and they got a pick six. They got a touchdown pass from Hurts, clutch touchdown pass, pick six, and that flipped the game on its head. Barkley coughed it up, but the defense came through, and then Elliott put icing on the cake with a final field goal. 49ers done. Hot damn. That was another brilliant game. 20-27. Game came down to the final drives, and there it was, folks. Man, you gotta love this game. Just love it. Drive time football, especially the 14D with player finders. There's just, again, I'll say it again, there aren't many football games on the market, in my opinion, that are this well done. Just not. And it's complimentary. And again, for those who don't know what that means it's free. You got to do the printing and the cutting, but pretty amazing game. All right, man, what do I say? I've talked about this in the past. I'm a Bears fan. I've always liked the Bears. There's something about the Bears, the tradition, the history, the legacy. More so than the Packers, who you can't deny have one of the greatest histories in professional sports. It's not about that. I love the Packers too, but I'm a big Bears fan. Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams. Never was, will never be. And so I just have a hell of a time rooting for this Bears team. And they seem to be bass backwards. They're all offense, and their defense is opportunistic takeaways. But they are a bass backwards Bears team for me. I usually expect, of course, they run the ball really well. Anyway, that's me waxing poetic about football. All right, Green Bay comes in here 9-7-1. This team, once they acquired Micah Parsons in the big preseason trade with Dallas on the eve of the launch of the season, I think launched the Packers in Vegas odds, as well as most fans thought, damn, the Packers now are the team to beat. Well, guess what? The sobering fact in the NFL is it's tough. Every team is talented. Every team can be tough. And if you get injuries, or you screw the pooch, or you mess up game plans, or you make bad coaching decisions, you're going to find yourself chasing ghosts. And this team with Matt LaFleur has been just above 500 mostly. 9-7 and 10-7 and 11-5-1 and missed the playoffs or something like that last year and this year. But we're going to find out. They have one of my favorite players ever, Josh Jacobs, comes over from the Raiders. I wish the Raiders had never let him get away. Jordan Love, who's a bit boring, but he's solid. He's a boring quarterback, though, to me. And their young receiving core is pretty solid. There's nobody jumps out as wow, but they get the job done. They scored 390 points, gave up 360. And again, they do have Micah Parsons, who rounded out a very solid defense. On the flip side, I've talked about it already, Ben Johnson, who should have been the head coach of the Raiders, on the 11th hour chose the Bears. I don't see why he wouldn't have. The Bears currently, ironically, I think are a better run franchise, and they did have a young quarterback with lots of upside. So Ben Johnson staying in that division and taking over the Bears has turned out to be the right move for both him and the franchise, and Caleb. I mean, I think he may have gotten the most out of Caleb so far. This team scored 441 points, but they gave up 415. They did lead the league in turnovers. I don't know if we're going to see that happen here today with the Packers. So let's play the final NFC playoff game of round one, and let's find out who gets this done. All right, Packers, go to work. Packers are going to see the defense, and 12 is not a safety chance, but they will force the Pack to punt. And the Bears, with a first opening drive, 5 is going to be a red zone trip against this Packer defense. So right there, against this Packer defense, 5 is a field goal. So they're going to see a kick by Santos, and the Bears take the lead. Santos with a 19-yard field goal. Not like the Bears to kick a field goal, but again, the playoffs, coaches sometimes realize we better get every point we can. Here we go. It's going to be the offense of the Pack, and they're going to have to punt. Oh, no, and the Bears are going to get the job done in the first quarter. What do they do in their final drive of the first? They're going to be looking at that defense. 8. It's going to be a punt of their own. And, folks, we're going to wrap up the first quarter with a Packers 0, Bears 3. This is not playing into the Bears' hands. This is leaving the door wide open for the Packers. Starting the second quarter, the Packers are going to roll a 12. They're going to hit the red zone. Are you kidding me? The Packers on a 12 in the red zone. And 7 is going to be a touchdown pass to 54 to Tyler Kraft, baby. So Kraft with a 3-yard TD reception. Remember, I'm just doing red zone touchdowns as if this is inside the 20. TD, right? So I'm not worried about scores outside the red zone since the game puts you in the red zone. We're taking it from the red zone. And the PAT is failed. You gotta be kidding me. The crowd here in Chicago goes bananas when he misses the chip shot extra point and leaves the door open for a field goal to tie it for Caleb Williams. The overrated Caleb Williams. Not a fan. Never was. And I won't apologize for that. I just won't. Like Bryce Young. Didn't like him coming out of college. 9. It's going to be a red zone trip, though. He's going to make a liar out of me, though. I promise you. And it's going to be 6. It's going to be a touchdown pass for Caleb Williams to 66. Touchdown pass to Burden. And Burden's going to catch a 10-yard TD reception. Their extra point will put this game in their hands for sure. It is 10-6 thanks to a failed PAT for the Pack. Final drive for the Packers in the first half. I pre-rolled extra drives except for the final extra drive, folks. If you're wondering why I'm not rolling them, that's because I did it. But in the final quarter, I saved that drama. Let's see here. We're going to get offense. 10 is punt. The quarter's going to end with them down by 4 unless Chicago scores here. 10, Chicago is going to turn over on down. So they drive down. This time they decide to go for it instead of taking the chip shot field goal from the 2, and it doesn't work out. They cannot score. And folks, it is 6 for the Packers, and it is 10. So 10-6 at halftime. And the Bears will start out with their first third quarter drive. After a halftime speech, the defense, 8, is going to force a punt. Bears now. We're in a defensive game. I don't expect this, except I can see the Packers grinding the game into a low-scoring game. Packers are going to get 8. It's a red zone trip for the Pack. This could be where the Pack takes the lead on a touchdown. And 6 is a touchdown pass, and it's going to 88. 88 is Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with a 7-yard TD reception. Extra point now. Do we go for 2? I think they line up and go for 2. Let's do it. And how do I do going for 2? I just roll the offense-defense die, and I consider it red zone. And whoever wins, we're going to be looking at that team. And if it's a touchdown, it's going to be if it's a field goal, would count as a failure. So here we go, Packers. Looking at the defense, 2 is a field goal. They failed to get the conversion. Failed. So Con fell. Oh, that's huge. As they now have fallen behind by an extra point. But if they get that, they're sitting pretty. Defense, 10. Red zone, you got to be kidding me. Green Bay gives up a red zone trip on 10 to young Caleb Williams. And it's going to be 9. 9 is going to be a field goal, so they're going to give up a field goal to Santos. This one, 5 and 17, a 22-yard field goal. Santos, with them missing PATs and Santos adding field goals, they're slowly giving their team the better chance to hold on and win. Packers go to work. Defense 5 is a punt. Packers in trouble here, folks. They're running the ball. Jordan Love can't find anybody open. And the Bears, final drive of the third is defense 7. Turnover on down. So again, they go for it when they get down close, and that might cost them. Packers, looking at the defense, 7 is red zone. So Chicago's giving up a red zone trip to the Packers in the final drive of the quarter. It's going to be 8. 8 is a field goal. Son of a gun. So they're going to get back some of those points. McManus on a 28-yard field goal. And that'll wrap up the quarter. Both teams, 9 points for the Packers, 3 for the Bears. It is 15-14 13. The Packers are winning going into the fourth quarter, folks. And ironically, had they gotten that 2-point conversion, it would be 17 to 13. But it's 15-13, leaving the door open for the Bears to win in dramatic fashion on a last-second field goal, which the Bears have done multiple times this season in real life. All right, we're going to start with the Packers because they're leading for dramatic purposes. The Packers in the fourth quarter are going to look at their offense. 7. It's a red zone trip for the Pack. Can Josh Jacobs put the game on ice? It's going to be 4. Touchdown run. So we rolled a 4. Where's the 2? Jesus. My hands are like in the mornings, man. They're just a mess. 4 is touchdown run 70. Is that Jacobs? Oh, 72. No, it's Emmanuel Wilson punching it in. So it is a run, of course, but it's not Jacobs. It's Wilson coming off the bench on a 72 roll. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, 72 is beyond Josh, and it's a run of 12 yards, TD run. And do they go for 2 here? That would make it 15, 21. They go for 2, be 23. Yeah, let's go for 2 again. And it's going to be offense. 5 is touchdown run, so it's a 2-point con. 2 con, good. So they're going to score 8 on that drive. That's ginormous. 8-17. It's now 23-13. That was the right call for Matt LaFleur, trying to put this game on ice. It's going to be the defense. 8. And it's going to be a punt. Uh-oh. Chicago in trouble. And here we go. Packers looking at the defense. 3. Red zone trip against this defense. That's a killer, man. The Packers against the Chicago defense in the red zone. 11 is going to be a missed field goal. The Packers, McManus is going to miss a 35-yard missed field goal. That is so sad. And we're not over yet, folks. The Bears' final drive before we check extra drives. The Bears need to score. 5. It's a red zone trip against this defense. The Packers give up a red zone trip. And it's going to be 7. It's going to be a touchdown pass. Guess what, folks? Caleb Williams is going to fire a touchdown pass of 70 to Zacchaeus. TD pass of 10. And the extra point here, they do not miss. 8 would give them 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And a field goal would let them win if they went for 8. Well, they really need the points. They got to go for 2 because then a field goal on the final drive would let them win it. So they're going for 2. And it's offense 4, and that is failed. So they fail the 2 con. That's a killer, man. They have to now score. They have to get their drive and score a touchdown. All right, the Packers. Do they get their extra drive? The Packers do not, so they're finished. Do the Bears get a chance at a game-winning drive? 2-6. They do not. Game's over, folks. Oh, my God. That 2-point conversion they thought would set them up for a cheap onside conversion, and it didn't work. 8 points scored by the Packers in the fourth, and 6 scored by the Bears with a weird score. We got 17-23. Bears score 13. Let's see here, 10, 13, 19 for the Bears, and the Packers are moving on, and the Bears are going home. Absolutely beautiful. The final game of the NFC first round 2025 playoffs in Drive Time Football. Let's recap what has happened here in this first round. We've got 23-19 Packers move on. Eagles win at home in a very interesting game, 27-20, holding those 49ers down and getting their for them damn good score for them this year. Now, not in their Super Bowl runs. This team was pretty dominant in their Super Bowl runs, and the Panthers shocked the world and knock off Matt Stafford, who was looking to get his second Super Bowl championship in the waning years of his career. And there it is, folks. The NFC playoffs are finished. Beautiful games. And next, the Bears go home. Not too surprised. I could see the Packers. They were a preseason favorite after the Micah trade to win it all. They are a solid football team. This is a surprise. This team is in here with a losing record, and they backed into the playoffs on tiebreakers. That's a shocker. The Eagles doesn't surprise me at all. I anticipate the Eagles will be Super Bowl contenders again this year. We see Chicago's wonderful run with a new coach and their young quarterback over. We see the Rams with their aging quarterback coming to the end. He's probably going to win the MVP. I would bet Matt Stafford is the MVP this year, and it's going to come crashing to a halt. And the 49ers, who, let's face it, they were coached up and had unbelievable play from both Christian McCaffrey all year long and a Brock Purdy in the final weeks of the season. But not enough, folks, in the NFL. You got to do better than that. You got to be better than streaky, right? All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.